some of the relationships I've developed because of Drag Race are just as important and just as like meaningful to me as people I've known for like 10 years.
Yeah.
You know, like I've only known Alaska since season 5, but we're extremely close. And I count on that relationship.
Yeah.
I think it's something I call Drag Race. It's a little bit like our nom. Like it bonds us together in a way that only we can understand.
Well, you and Alaska were in season 5 together. You won the crown. Alaska won the crown later, but Alaska wasn't too happy when you won the crown.
Did word get around?
It was quite a public display.
It was, well, no, Alaska and I, it was funny because from the beginning, when Alaska and I were realizing we were going to be kind of neck and neck towards the end, she was very honest with me, and she said, I'm a very sore loser, and I really wanted this, but I'm feeling like you're going to win. So I want you to know every time I throw a temper tantrum, it's just me working through it and it has nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
And one night, the night that I was crowned, she threw a temper tantrum I mean, that's the only word for it. It was like
On
a
the
2-year-old,
stage.
like stomping around.
Yeah.
And well, before the stage.
It's exactly what happened.
And her mom was chasing after her saying, like,
Listen,
calm down, Alaska, calm down.
I was there. They were both annihilated, her and her mother. And the best part was each girl, I was hosting, it was in New York, each girl was to do one number, right? And then they, you know, after the crowning, they all came on, they did a number. Alaska, then she does her number. And I was like, okay, that's it. To the DJ who happened to be Mimi on first. So then Alaska turns around and like a monster came out. And she was like, push, play. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mimi's like,
and then does Don't Cry Out Loud.
Yeah, flops
which
herself
was so perfect.
on the ground after singing Don't Cry Out in her hefty bags. And she's crying and flailing and angry. And then her mother, who had some to drink, comes on stage and is trying to pull her off by her feet. And she's
got her
grabbing
nails digging into
onto
the
the
stage.
stage.
But it was comedy, though,
It was
right?
absolutely. I mean, it
Well-
was comedy. There was truth in it, but it was comedy. It
Yes.
was a wonderful spectacle.
Yeah.
And it actually was almost impossible for me to top that. Here I am getting crowned.
And you're like, what the
I
hell?
don't know how do
am
I
gonna
top
do?
that.
And she was lip syncing the song?
No, she
No.
sang it
She
live.
Sang it live.
And it's one of her favorite songs to sing, and it was very poignant for the situation, too.
Yeah. So she had it prepared just in case.
And well, I think the
Yes.
whole thing was prepared because she told me earlier in the day to be ready for a temper tantrum and that it wasn't going to be about me. And before we even made it to the stage, she's doing circles in the out hotel courtyard. You know, literally, there's just a flock of people following her around in a circle, trying to calm her down, trying to keep the situation under wraps. And finally, she goes, someone open my hotel room. Why isn't my door open? I need to get the hell out of here. And unfortunately, I'm standing right next to her door. And I'm like, oh God, I'm like right in the warpath. And she goes past me as her assistant opens her door. And the last thing she does before she goes into her room is turn to me, winks, and sticks her tongue out, like an emoji. And it was like her moment of saying, like, don't worry, this isn't about you.
Yeah.
And where was Roxy during all this?
Roxy was just sitting politely, just sitting there with her hands folded with a smile on her face. She had a great time that night.
Right, because Roxy Andrews was the third
Correct.
girl.